Anytime you are on a spiritual awakening path, you are going to shed people that are no longer in vibrational alignment with you. And I understand the fear, but let me tell you why it's actually a good thing. Now, there are some people that are doing the work that are definitely going to go with you on the path. And there are people that are going to stay in your life because you have soul contracts with them, meaning like obviously your parents. And if you're on the correct timeline to be with your soulmate, hopefully your soulmate stays as long as you guys are both in alignment. But a lot of times on the spiritual path, we shed friendships. This has happened to me so many times, and it used to really upset me. I used to hold on for too long, but I realized this especially recently as the universe is really asking me to learn boundaries, and as a Libra people pleaser, it's been really hard. But there's all this astrological stuff going on with the cardinal signs. If you saw it on TikTok, you know what I'm talking about, where we're really being asked to step into our villain era. And villain era is not bad. Villain era is main character energy. Villain era means it's okay if you're a villain in someone else's life. Just be a hero in your own. You have to do what's best for you. Shedding people. While we're on this path of spiritual growth, relationships are going to fall off, and it's going to fall off for a number of reasons. Sometimes people are just in our lives to teach us a particular lesson. Sometimes this is a soul contract, and it's a really painful lesson. The first time that I thought I was deeply in love, it was absolutely a trauma bond, also a soul contract, very tumultuous relationship, years of my life of pain, but you know what? That relationship got me onto my spiritual path. So it was a good thing. Now I'm glad that the relationship has shed. We are no longer in each other's lives. It was toxic. However, the toxicity helped me get onto my spiritual path. I was obviously emitting toxic energy as well to attract that sort of relationship. So that's a kind of shedding. You might encounter people that are here to teach you lessons that you decided before you came down you wanted to learn certain lessons, and these people are going to seem like villains in your life. But actually, they're really angels in disguise. The second time you might be shedding relationships is because, you hear that thing, people are in your life for a reason, the first one, a season, or a lifetime. So people might be in your life for a season. This can be great. Maybe you're really wanting to embody a certain frequency. So you might embody people in your life. You might meet people in your life that are really playful because you're calling in embodying playfulness. Or you might manifest people in your life that are really abundant for a season because you're needing to up-level your life in abundance, and they're bringing that out of you. You're around them. You might be calling people into your life that are mirrors of what you really need to heal. These people are going to trigger you, and they're just in your life for a season to show you where you're not fully seeing yourself. I had this happen with friendships too. I went through a period, this was a pattern that I hopefully have healed, but I kept attracting female friends that never seemed happy for me. And it had to do with energy that I'd had since childhood, and I just kept attracting this relationship over and over again until I was able to look at past trauma and really heal that and see the root of it, because I kept feeling like this desperate need to have these people in my life, even though they were treating me like shit. So that was something that I drew in order to be a mirror, to be a reflection. Now, it could also have been that I was a bad friend. Sometimes you draw people in that are mirrors that are showing you how you're being. You might, manifest people that are really complaining because the universe is like, hey, you want to manifest? Stop fucking complaining so much. And that's a mirror. So you bring people in for a season, or a season like you're in college. Maybe you have some friends that you meet during that period of your life because you guys are both in the same energy, and there you go. When that season is over, it's good to let them go. So those are people you might shed if they're in your life for a season. We also shed people when we're up-leveling, and I'm guessing if you're on the spiritual path, you want to up-level. This has been so in my face the last couple months because there are relationships that I wanted to hold on to, but I realized these were people that were representing old versions of me, and that's what I was shedding. There was a couple friends that I felt had really limited thinking. Now, there was a time where I had really limited thinking, hence why I attracted them into my life in the first place. When we met, we were on the same vibration. We were agreeing about how limited reality was. We were agreeing about how much this sucked and why we couldn't manifest this, why it was so hard and why it was these people's faults. But the more I started doing work on myself, this energy literally started to make me sick. I had plans with a friend, and last night when I was thinking about going to the plans, I started to get like physically sick, and I hardly ever get sick. And I talked it out with my partner, and I realized it was because I no longer want to be around limited thinking, and this person was very limited. So whenever I was with them, I felt like I couldn't be expansive. I couldn't be myself because it made them feel bad that was manifesting really cool stuff, and they were just like still really stuck and small. So you're shedding parts of yourself that you have like graduated out of. So this is actually a good thing. It seems like you're leaving people in the dust, but like they can do their work too. You're obviously reflecting something to them, but also sometimes we shed people to learn that it's okay to let go. When I had to break a soul contract that was like someone so very dear to my heart, and I broke the contract, and I realized that breaking the contract was fulfilling the contract because I was choosing myself. Part of what this person was teaching me in this life was to let go. You are really all you have. You're not all you have because you have angels and guides and spirits, but when it comes down to it, you are what you have, and you are what you need to put your energy on. If you are trying to up level and you are holding on to people that don't feel good anymore, or that are not radiating the frequency you're radiating at, it's going to make you sick, or it's going to make you stay small. And even though you might be up leveling, you're not going to up level as high as you want to if you continue to hold on to these relationships, because we really do become like the 5 people we hang around the most. So it's not about being mean, and it's not like even like you're better than them when you're evolving out of friendships. I like to think about it as you're just on different frequencies. Like I like rap music, but I really, there's like some real spiritual music that I love. They're not the same frequency, but depending on my mood or what I'm doing, I might be in the mood for some Tupac, I might be in the mood for some Nako. When you are evolving out of relationships, your main frequency is just at a higher level or at a different frequency than the people that you're around. And if they're maintaining at a lower frequency or a different type of music, country or classical, it's just not going to feel good. And if you are trying to maintain this high frequency, especially if you're wanting to quantum leap and timeline jump and manifest cool shit, it's just going to drag you down. So what I've really come to realize this past month is when I've been setting boundaries that I was terrified of, and saying no to hanging out with people and choosing to hang out with myself versus someone that was in a lower frequency, I noticed how much more energy I got back. And I also know that when you shed relationships, amazing people come in. It might not be right away, but like you have to make space for what you want. So if you are evolving and like really up leveling, you're going to want friends and loved ones and partners that match that. But in order for you to do that, you have to make room for them. And maybe these people come around later and they've elevated their frequency and it's great. And if not, you're going to realize in a year or two, it didn't really matter, because you're going to have new amazing people in your life. Just know that when you're shedding people, you're shedding parts of your identity that you no longer want to align with. And this is a good thing, because we're here to expand and grow and evolve. We're spiritual beings, and we want to expand, and we want to be in a high vibration. And if you want to manifest your best life, you've got to be around people that are also manifesting their best life. Much love.